Nice. So, welcome to Swiflearn online classes. As you already know that Swiflearn is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. Over here, all the classes are 100% live and interactive classes. So, if you have any sort of doubt, you can clarify all those things in the classes only. The teacher will explain everything, each and every topic in the classes. Right. Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every student क्योंकि हमारे बैचेस में मैक्सिमम 6 स्टूडेंट्स रहता है नॉट मोर देन दैट ओके सो 1 स्टूडेंट 2 स्टूडेंट या फिर 4 5 मैक्सिमम 6 स्टूडेंट्स का बैचेस होता है तो दिस विल हेल्प यू टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल द concepts better. You can ask any sort of question related to the topic to your teacher in the classes and the teacher will explain everything in the classes only. Right now, coming to the third thing is we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously track how you are progressing, right? So how you were understanding any concept in the classroom, whether you were doing the homework every day or not, in which topic you were lagging, which topic you were totally prepared, these all will all be tracked and you will get the feedback, and this feedback will definitely help you to understand where you are lagging and you will be able to improve there, right? Now coming to the fourth thing, that is we cover the syllabus as per your school examination schedule. So if you have any sort of topic which is coming in your school examination, so you can tell it to us. We will do those topics first and then we will move on to the rest of the topic, right? So this type of custom request generally we handle. Okay, so these are the general features of Swiflearn. Now let us see why this Swiflearn is different from any other platform. See, we maintain a proper detailed progress report of each and every student. तो आपके स्कूल में भी जैसे progress report रहता है, आप को वो मिलता है ड्यूरिंग द पीटीएम, तो इधर भी पीटीएम होता है. द पेरेंट्स कैन मीट विथ अस directly in the PTM and we will provide the progress report which where it will be everything will be mentioned clearly, that how many homework you have done, whether you are doing the homework properly or not, which topic you were lagging, which topic you were well prepared, what is your understanding capacity, what is your competitive approach, you are doing all the in class proper activities properly or not. So these will be all included within this progress report, right? And wherever you will lag, so you will be able to understand, I will give you the feedback, we will all give you the feedback and this will help you to improve yourself, right? Now coming to the second thing, that is the Swiflearn academic test series which happen in every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So this SAT will help you to understand what is your rank all over India. Okay, so there are a lot of different students who basically perform in this test and this will help you out definitely. Now coming to the third and the fourth important thing, that is the practice. You already know that practice makes a man perfect, right? So after completing each and every topic, what you have to do is you have to just select the question answers, you have to just practice the question answers, right? So there are unlimited practice tests over here. So just select your topic, revise the topic and select your topic and just go with the objective and subjective test, right? So objective test में जैसे आपके MCQ filling the blanks, true false match the column ऐसे रहता है, तो इधर भी वैसे ही रहेंगे according to your school examination. And subjective homework or subjective test is very much important because you sometimes lose the marks in the subjective answers only, है ना? तो 3 mark 5 mark का question में आपका marks lose हो जाते हैं क्योंकि you cannot write the key points sometimes, or you can you forget to give a proper diagram, you forget to give the examples, or you can say the chemical equations is basically depend upon the different topics or the different subject. And that is why we are always here to help you out. So we'll give you the tips and tricks how to write the answer, where to include the diagram and chemical equation and so on. This will help you to write a complete answer so that you will never miss, never lose any marks. At least half marks bhi nahi lose karoge in your subjective answer, okay? And full marks you will get, okay, in your school exam and board exam. So to experience all these things, what you have to do, you have to book the ट्रायल क्लास. तो सारे ट्रायल क्लास हमारे इधर फ्री है, तो फ्री ट्रायल क्लास कभी भी बुक कर लो एज पर योर कन्वीनियंस एंड यू कैन see how the classes go on over here and then enroll your name in our regular batches. We will meet regularly and we will study a lot of different topics, right? So let's now move on to the topic of today. And before that, let me tell you who have not subscribed our channel, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming sessions, right? So do not forget to like, comment, and share also. Chalo. So today we will mainly discuss about the reproduction in plants, right? सो रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स जो है आपके सिलेबस में आईसीएसई बोर्ड का क्लास 8 का सिलेबस में जो है वो बहुत ही इजी एंड बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स है तो यू ऑलरेडी हैव एन आइडिया व्हाट इज रिप्रोडक्शन राइट तो रिप्रोडक्शन इन एनिमल वी हैव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड सो दैट इज व्हाई आई होप दैट यू ऑलरेडी हैव एन आइडिया कि रिप्रोडक्शन क्या है हाय बेटा हेलो कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज द मेन लाइक what do you mean by reproduction like I don't need any bookish language or bookish definition like what do you mean by reproduction just tell me okay yes yes today we are going to learn about the reproduction in plants beta okay hi Kavya how are you okay cracker AV can you please type your name in the chat box what is your actual name okay so let me also remind you that whoever will give me most of the answers correctly in between so and at the end of the session I'll write your name on the screen and he or she will be the student of the session ठीक है चलो तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स today mainly we will focus on certain points those are what is reproduction what is vegetative reproduction and then we will go with the different types of reproduction जैसे वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन भी आ जाएगा एंड असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन वी विल मेनली फोकस राइट तो हम आज सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में नहीं जाएंगे द सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन बेसिकली विच टेक्स प्लेस इन द एंजियोस्पर्म्स और विच टेक्स प्लेस इन द फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स वी विल सी इट लेटर ऑन तो टुडे वी विल मेनली फोकस ऑन द असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन ठीक है हाय अंश यस यस आई रिमेंबर अंश ओके सो Acha, got it, got it. Yes, Ansh, your answer is very much correct that the reproduction is the process of giving birth to the young ones. And one point you were missing over here that is giving birth to the young ones to hoga hi hoga. And also you have to say in the definition that giving birth to the young ones of their own kind. ये own kind क्यों मैं focus कर रही हूँ इस phrase के ऊपर because definitely mango plants के seed से mango tree आएगा apple से apple tree आएगा cat का cat reproduce करके kitten बनाएंगे dog reproduce करके एक dog ही होगा right puppy आएगा and if we think about a human definitely human reproduce to form the human baby right so in case of this reproduction chapter or the definition of the reproduction always remember that reproduction is the process of giving birth to the young ones or giving birth to the offspring of their own kind so this of their own kind is very important key point of your answer got it तो ऐसे key point हम बोलते जाएंगे while giving you the definition and the total explanation so that you will always keep it in mind कि key points क्या है और definition में answers में key points कैसे रखना है क्या क्या key points रखना है so that you will never lose any marks right in your school exam चलो तो I guess you have already heard about the story of Adam and Eve है ना तो do you know anything about it who was Adam who was Eve yes according to the Bible we sometime we know the story that they were the very first human being on the world right so they were the very first human being only Adam and Eve were there but now if you think about the world the population of the world you will see that all over the world 7 billion people is residing yeah so how is it possible anybody can you tell me how this is possible that ये सारे human population start हुआ था just दो human beings से एक Adam the male one and Eve was the female right so according to Bible we already know about the story of Adam and Eve now the population has become 7 billion yeah so how is it possible कि इतना ज़्यादा human population हो गया all over the world due to the process of the reproduction yes so this is all about the reproduction so reproduction का मतलब क्या है this is nothing but a biological process so continuously which will give birth to the young ones और ये young ones जो birth लेते हैं, we can call them as the offsprings, right? So giving birth to the new individual या फिर offspring या फिर young ones of their own kind, we call this process as the reproduction. Clear है ना up to this much? Yes. Now we will mainly focus on the types of reproduction. तो reproduction को broadly हम अगर divide करेंगे तो then we will see that there are two main types of reproduction. What are the two main types? One will be asexual and second one will be the sexual reproduction. So if you have any idea or if you get any idea from the name asexual and sexual, can you tell me what do you mean by these different types of reproduction? Yes, if you have any idea. So if you think about the asexual, so if I just divide the word asexual, so a matlab no, okay, or non, or that is asexual means not sexual, we can say, okay. And sexual means where the gamete formation will be taking place, the fertilization and everything will take place, then we will call it as the sexual reproduction. तो non gametic reproduction जो होता है जहाँ gamete formation नहीं होता, no gamete formation, gamete, I guess you already know what is the gamete. Anybody, can you tell me in the chat box what do you mean by gamete? Then I am तो always there to tell you, है ना? तो कोई अगर आपको अगर पता है कि gamete क्या है, you can write tell me in 1 or 2 words, okay? चलो, no gamete formation, no fertilization, जो बेसिकली सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में होता है, ये सारे कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है? तो दिस आर द मेन थिंग्स व्हिच आर नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस इन द रिप्रोडक्शन. दिस टाइप ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन इज नोन एज द असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन, ओके? And always remember, only one parent is required. Only one parent is sufficient for performing this asexual type of reproduction, right? Now if I talk about the sexual type, so if you just think about the sexual type, then we can say that gamete formation either hota hai, there is the fertilization process, that is the fusion of the male and female gamete, right? Fertilization इधर होता है, the fusion of the male and female gamete to form the zygote, that is the very first cell of the new individual. And how many parents are needed over here? मैं ऐसे जो male gamete female gamete बोल रही हूँ, तो एक तो male से आएगा, दूसरा female से आएगा, तो definitely male and female मतलब two parents are needed over here, okay? Yes. So, do you know what is gamete? I have already asked you this question. Yes, gamete is nothing but the reproductive cells. The sex cells or the reproductive cells are known as the gametes. ठीक है ना? Up to this much clear? Yes. Now. Yes, what is mensural gamete? Can you please give me a proper correct word? What do you want to ask basically? Yes. Now, let's move on to the asexual reproduction which we will mainly discuss today. तो asexual reproduction ये है कि जहाँ सिर्फ one individual is needed or one parent is needed. You can see only one parent is needed, and that is why whatever offspring will come out, that offspring will get all the main characteristic features of the parent, that one parent only, right? And that is why they will be totally the Xerox copy of that parent. तो इसका genetic material बोलो या फिर कुछ भी बोलो, all the characteristic features will be totally identical copy या फिर similar to that of that one parent, okay? So always remember, this is the main problem. Basically क्या होता है इधर sexual reproduction में जैसे variation आता है and that lead to the evolution. So asexual reproduction में variation नहीं आता क्योंकि only one parent is involved and that one parent से ही offspring आ रहे हैं, and that offspring is basically getting all the similar type of characteristic feature from the parent, and that is why there is no variation. अगर no variation तो in the long run there will be no proper evolution also. Got it? Yes, so basically this asexual type of reproduction we see them in the lower groups of plants and animals. Okay, तो lower groups of plants and animals में आ जाएगा आपका fungi, algae, moss, fern, bacteria. If you think about the animals, then in case of the animals we will say like the sponge, starfish, hydra, okay, planaria. This will all show the basic asexual type of reproduction जहाँ gamete formation नहीं होगा and only one parent will give rise to the new individual. ठीक है, तो mainly we will focus on the reproduction in plant today. Right now, process of asexual reproduction is basically happening in the plants, and they basically involve the division of the parent's body. तो एक ही parent है और एक ही parent body का अगर कोई भी part डिवाइड हो जाएगा या फिर न्यू कुछ प्रोपेग्यूल बनेगा या फिर न्यू कुछ यूनिट्स बनेगा, एंड दैट डिफरेंशिएशन एंड डिवीजन ऑफ द पेरेंट्स बॉडी विल गिव राइज टू अ न्यू इंडिविजुअल. दिस इज द बेसिक फंडा ऑफ द asexual reproduction. ठीक है, up to this much clear है? I guess it is a very simple way, very basic way, and there is no fusion of the gametes, so complicated way तो नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, कोई complexity ही नहीं है ये asexual reproduction में, बहुत easy है. तो this will also help you to remember these processes of the asexual reproduction very easily. ठीक है, चलो. Mainly today we will focus on the asexual reproduction which takes place in the flowering plant, and we will mainly focus on the spore formation, vegetative propagation and fragmentation. ये spore formation, vegetative propagation, fragmentation ये है क्या? Budding also होता है, okay, fission also होता है, okay, binary fission and all. So these are nothing but the different types of asexual reproduction. Okay, so budding में क्या होता है? Only one individual, there will be a bud like growth comes out, जैसे yeast में होता है. Yeast is one kind of fungi, so just the bud will come out, and when the bud will grow into a matured bud, it will detach from the parent's body and it will grow into a new individual. As simple as that. ठीक है, बाइनरी फिशन जो बैक्टीरिया में होता है वो कैसे होता? एक बैक्टीरिया है, एंड द बैक्टीरिया, विद इन द बैक्टीरिया द न्यूक्लियस विल डिवाइड to become two nucleus, and then the whole cell will be divided to form the two cells. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही होगा. Okay, so these are basically the different asexual types of reproduction. So mainly we will focus and explain about the fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. बहुत important है आपके syllabus में vegetative propagation. We will basically focus on that and we will see how this types of reproduction takes place. ठीक है, I guess you were ready to give me some of the answer up to this much whatever we have studied. Yes? Quickly tell me, dash implies the process of producing offspring. Very easy hai. Yes. What is the main process called which help you to understand the which is basically the process of producing the offspring? Yes. So what is the name of the process of producing the offspring? Quickly tell me. Yes, it's nothing but the reproduction. You can also see the options above it. Okay, the options are given over here. Just go with the options and tell me the answers. Okay, quickly now tell me the next question. The next filling the blanks is the new individual produced by the reproduction is known as. तो individual को हम क्या कहते हैं? Yes, the individual which is produced after the process of reproduction. What do we call it? Yes, quickly, they are known as the offsprings, right? Yes. Okay. Now coming to the third one, only one parent is needed in which type of reproduction? We have already studied about the two main types of reproduction, that is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, right? So कौन सी तरीके का reproduction में हमारे सिर्फ one parent involved होता है? Yes, एक ही parent involved कौन सा reproduction process में होता है? Quickly tell me. Yes. Definitely the asexual reproduction. There is no fusion of gamete, no fertilization, and that is why it is the simplest way of reproduction. Yeah? Coming to the fourth one, dash is one of the ways of asexual reproduction. Tell me, I have already told you the different names like budding, fission, spore formation, fragmentation, vegetative propagation. So these are the different types of asexual reproduction. कोई भी आप लिख सकते हो, okay? But over here we have got the option, and that is why let us see which option will come over fit over here. That will be fragmentation. Got it? So try to practice all these types of filling the blanks, because this type of question you basically will get in your school examination. ठीक है ना? Chalo. Let us now see the chlorella. This is produced by what type of fission? Binary or multiple fission? Yes. What type of fission takes place in chlorella? Yes, this is the multiple fission. Okay, multiple fission is basically taking place inside the chlorella. So this is all about the basic idea of the asexual reproduction and the basic reproduction process in plant. Now let us focus on the different types of the asexual reproduction. फर्स्ट है हमारा फ्रेगमेंटेशन. बहुत सिंपल है, देखो वी कैन सी दिस टाइप ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन इन द वन टाइप ऑफ algae. Okay, so which algae basically we can find it in the spirogyra. Got it? Now ये है spirogyra. If you see the filaments of the spirogyra under the microscope, you can find the spiral shaped mitochondria in their body. So what happened, there are the specific region which when breaks off, they each of the breaking will give rise to the new individual. देखो, this is the parent fragment, and ऐसे parent filament से ये ब्रेक डाउन हो गया, बीच में से कोई कट आउट कर दिया, एंड दैट मस्ट बी अ स्पेशल टाइप स्पेशल पोर्शन. अगर ये स्पेशल पोर्शन में दोनों साइड में न्यूक्लियस एंड ऑल द डिफरेंट सेल्युलर ऑर्गेनल्स होगा, so that it can divide, then each of the portion will give rise to a new individual. So as the fragments are coming out due to the cutting off or breaking down of the total filament, that is why this process is known as the fragmentation. Clear hai? Totally. So this fragmentation we can see in the spirogyra. This is one type of algae. Fine. Now let's move on to the spore formation. What do you mean by spore? Basically, the spores are the asexual type of units which are mainly found in the different type of fungus. फंगस फॉन्स भी हम ये फॉन्स के लीव्स के अंदर अंडर द साइड ऑफ द लीव्स ऑफ द फॉन्स आल्सो वी गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट, this type of unit which are known as the spores. If we think about the braid mold, if you keep the braid for a long period of time, then you will be able to see, if you keep it under the moist area, you will be able to see that a very small blackish things coming out of the braid, right? So those are nothing but the braid mold, one type of fungi. Okay, so they have this bulge like structure which are known as the sporangium, और ये sporangium के अंदर रहता है, inside the sporangium there are the spores which are formed. These spores are nothing but the asexual units. So what will happen, whenever they will get a proper condition for bursting, the proper condition of the weather and climate, so what will happen, this sporangium will burst out and these spores will come and it will just scatter over here and there. And when these spores will scatter from each of the spores which will get their proper condition, again the new individual will grow up, right? So this is how the new individual grows, by the process of the spore formation. We can see this in case of the ferns, in case of the fungi also. Clear hai up to this much? Totally? Yes. Now let us see one spore formation in the farm. So farm seems to be like this, right? It looks like this. And under the leaves of the farms, there is the production of the spores. Now over here, in case of the farms, this underside of the leaves, there are the structures. जैसे अब मैंने sporangium आपको दिखाई थी. तो farms के अंदर जो structure रहता है, we generally call it as the sori. Okay, the sori within which the spores are produced, and the spores when get their favorable condition, you can see that these are the sorus, and this dotted lines are the sorus, and when they are getting a favorable condition, it will burst out and the spores will scatter here and there, and from each of the spores, when they will get their favorable condition, they will give rise to the whole gametophyte and again the fawn. Okay, so this is how the germination takes place in case of the form by the spore formation. Clear up to this much? Hi Shweta, how are you? Now let's move on to the vegetative propagation. अभी ये मुझे पहले बताओ कि there are the two main parts of the plant. Okay, एक part को हम कहते हैं vegetative part and the another part we call it as the reproductive part. So what can be the different reproductive part of the plant? Yes, can anybody tell me? If you think about a flowering plant only, okay, the angiosperms. So angiosperms का या फिर फ्लावरिंग प्लांट का वेजिटेटिव पार्ट कौन सा होगा और नॉन वेजिटेटिव या फिर रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट कौन सा होगा? What is the main reproductive part of plant? Yes, quickly tell me. Any idea? In which the reproduction takes place, sexual reproduction, gamete formation, and fusion, the fertilization will take place, formation of the fruits and embryo will take place. So basically the reproductive part of a plant is the flower, right? So flower will come under the reproductive part, which will give rise to the fruit. But if we think about the vegetative part, this will be the root, stems and leaves. So root, stems and leaves will come under the vegetative part. So जब कोई भी plant के root, stem या फिर leaf से और एक नया वाला plant arise कर रहे या फिर it is taking birth from just a root, stem or leaf, then we will call it as the vegetative propagation. Clear up to this much? Yes, so basically these parts or units from which the reproduction takes place in case of the plants, we call those structures as the propagules. Always remember, these are nothing but the propagules which give rise to the new individual, and generally we can see them in any other different types of plant: rose, dahlia, mint, grass, jasmine, China rose. We can see all these types of plants where vegetative reproduction takes place. अभी अगर आप सोचोगे, then you will see that vegetative reproduction can again be divided into the two main types, that is नेचुरल एंड आर्टिफिशियल. अभी अगर हम नेचुरल देखेंगे तो नेचुरली जो भी वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन के न्यू इंडिविजुअल आ रहे हैं तो वो नेचुरल वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन में जाएंगे. एंड आर्टिफिशियल मतलब व्हेन द इट इज हैपनिंग और न्यू इंडिविजुअल इज कमिंग अप विद द हेल्प ऑफ द human being. The human being in the different horticultural garden or anything like that, they are basically doing a lot of different type of experiments and they are growing a lot of different types of plants on their own. Then we will call, by following the different processes, we will call those type of vegetative propagation as the artificial one. ओके आर्टिफिशियल क्यों? क्योंकि ह्यूमन बीइंग उधर हेल्प कर रहे हैं. और नेचुरल क्यों? नेचुरल क्योंकि इट इज हैपनिंग ऑटोमेटिकली विदाउट द हेल्प ऑफ द ह्यूमन बीइंग. तो फर्स्ट हम नेचुरल देखेंगे, देन वी विल मूव ऑन टू द आर्टिफिशियल वन. ओके, सो नेचुरली वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन हो सकता है थ्रू द स्टेम, रूट्स एंड द लीव्स. सो हम पहले देख लेते हैं कि अ 3D व्यू ऑफ द flowering plant. Okay, so what are basically present within the flowering plant? Let us see a 3D view of it. So this is nothing but a very simple plant. You already know the plant have the different types of parts. Let us see what are the parts. You can see these are the reproductive organ, that is nothing but the flower. Then we can see these are the flower, and it is covered by a bud condition, that is the sepals of the flower. You already know where it is coming through the shoots, or the leaves are growing through inside, like over here. Next is the fruit. You can see the structure. Just after the flower, the fruit will come, the ovary will become the fruit, and the ovules will become the seed which are present within the fruit. Then you can see the leaves. These are the leaves, you already know, which are found on the shoot system. This is the stem, which is basically giving a support to the plant, and under the ground we will find the root. This is just the cut portion of a fruit, and under the ground we can find the root, which is basically helping the plant to anchor within the soil, and it will help the plant to absorb water and minerals from the soil, so the proper growth and development of the plant will take place. Clear hai? Right? So this is nothing, just a 3D view of the whole plant, and we already know the plant system having the root and the shoot system. Let us now focus on the slides. So वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन हो सकता है नेचुरली और आर्टिफिशियली. मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको बता दिया कि नेचुरली होगा व्हेन इट विल टेक प्लेस naturally from the root stems and leaves, but artificially hoga when there will be the human intervention. Okay, so human being will help to grow the varieties of plants in many different ways in the horticultural area, agriculture and all, right? Mainly, let us now see what are the different types which will come under the natural and the artificial vegetative propagation. So, natural vegetative propagation will happen by the stems, roots and leaves. Stems में आ जाएगा आपका ginger, potato, onion, grass and all. Roots में आ जाएगा sweet potato. अच्छा, there is always a confusion between the students, that is, स्वीट पोटैटो होता है रूट से और पोटैटो होता है स्टेम से. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस वन. स्वीट पोटैटो और पोटैटो को कंफ्यूज मत कर दो. Sweet potato is one type of root and potato is one type of stem. I will tell you the structure why we call the potato as the stem, even if it is growing under the ground. Okay, so I'll tell you that. Then we can see that by leaves, basically natural vegetative propagation takes place in case of the bryophyllum, which in Bengali we call it as the patharkuchi sometimes. And this bryophyllum is the scientific name where through the leaf margin the different propagation, new leaves comes up, and when they mature they fall from the mother plant and then they grow up into a new individual. Okay, coming to the artificial vegetative reproduction, which happen with the help of the human being. Firstly, it is the cutting. Okay, so cutting is very simple. I'll tell you. Rose, China rose, jasmine, cactus में ये होता है, where just a portion of the root stem is cutted and it is planted inside the soil. तो नया root आ जाएगा and the stem will get the water and minerals and it will grow upward. ठीक है, बहुत simple है. Then we will see the grafting, then layering and the tissue culture. I'll tell all these types of reproduction in detail by showing you the picture, right? Now, have you ever seen any vegetable in your home which grow the root or the stem when if you keep it in a humid condition for a long period of time? So when they get a proper type of temperature, moisture, humidity, air, so what happened? A very small stem-like structure comes out. Have you ever seen it? Yes. Basically, you can see this in case of the ginger, potato. Yeah, बहुत common होता है potato में. If you keep the potato for a long period of time in a humid condition, you will see that, you will notice that a stem-like structure comes out. The leaf-like, bud-like structure comes out from the eyes of the potato. Have you ever seen this? Yes. This type of structures basically comes out, and from where it is coming out, this portion is known as the eyes, and from the eyes of the potato you can see that these are the buds which are coming out, and this is nothing but giving rise to a new plant.
Okay, so garlic maybe hota hai if you keep the garlic for a long period of time. So from the tail region of the garlic, these are the shoot-like structure which comes out. Same thing happen in case of the onion. You can keep it the onion and it will like the stem of the onion will come out. The onion leaves basically will come up. And also in case of the ginger, you can see the scales. These are nothing but the scale leaves. And if you see, these are the auxiliary buds. From the auxiliary bud, the new plant, the new individual will come up. Okay, so these are the different outgrowths which we can see from in the vegetative propagation. So these all four of them are the modified stems. Okay, always keep it in mind, these are the modified stems, and these stems, from the stems the new individuals come up. Now let's move on to the modified roots. So modified roots आपने already देख लिया, आप खाते भी हो, like the sweet potato. We can see it in dahlia, then asparagus. We can see it in carrot, radish, beetroot, right? We all eat it. तो क्या होता है इधर? These are all the modified root जहाँ food store होता है. Okay, the whole food will be stored within this root, and if you keep it in for a long period, the very small primary roots से छोटा छोटा secondary roots निकल के आते हैं, right? If you think about the carrot like this, so you can see the different structure from which the very small roots come up, right? So these are nothing but the modified roots. Okay, so along with that, when you will bury it under the soil, it will again grow into a new individual. ठीक है? Yes, so sweet potato are nothing but the adventitious root. You can see again from this nodes and internodes, again from the nodes the different root like structures are coming out, the adventitious roots. Okay, these are known as the slips, which can be broken up, and if you just plant it in the soil, you will get a new individual. Okay, a new plant will come up over here. Okay, understood? Yes. Now let's move on to a variety of the vegetative reproduction by stem. So certain vegetative reproduction takes place in the stem, in the subaerial region and underground stem. Okay, some we can see above in the air which can come coming in contact with the air. Some also we can see in the water region, जैसे हमारे water hyacinth में हम देख सकते हैं. Okay, yes, so let us see how they grow. First of all, the subaerial stem में जो major है, that is the runner and the sucker. तो runner में you can see them in the grass, in the strawberry, कि वो continuously parallelly in the ground grow करते रहते हैं. Okay, and they have in between the nodes and internodes, and from the nodes a new grasses are coming up. Okay, very easy, very small. You can see over here the strawberry plant. It is known as the runner or stolon. It is nothing but it is just the stem is running. Okay, when the stems are running, in the nodes a new branches coming up and the leaves are coming up, the fruits, flowers are coming up. Okay, so this is if you just break it or if you just cut it, it will be individually grow into a new individual. Okay, so this is known as the stolon or runner. Same thing happen in case of the sucker, but the main difference is that stem arise from the base of the shoot. Okay, so the horizontal stem ये just shoot out करके ऊपर चले जाते हैं. Okay, they horizontally grow for a while, but sometimes they shoot out above the ground, from the ground, and when these suckers are breaking away, the new suckers will give rise to the new individual. It will grow into a new individual. So that is the main difference between the sucker and the stolon. Got it? Coming to the offset, basically we can see the offset in different aquatic plants like the water lettuce, the water hyacinth. What happened over here? They are basically the side root which suddenly arises from the bud of the stem. The bud of the main stem से वो root sidewise grow कर जाते हैं, and when they develop into a matured root, they just fall off from the parent's body and again grow into a new individual. So this very simple type of reproduction is known as the offset, which we can see in case of the aquatic plants mostly. ठीक है. Now let's move on to the stem, the underground stem. So underground stem का जो भी structures है, we have given the different names to this different structure. जैसे if you think about the onion, so this onion is having a bulb like structure. आपके घर में बल्ब है तो बल्ब का स्ट्रक्चर ऐसे ऑनियन जैसे है. Have you ever noticed it? Have you ever thought of it? Yes. So this structure is having the fleshy leaves which we basically eat. The onion, that is the fleshy leaf which store the whole fruit. Okay. And they have the scale leaves which are surrounding the main fascial leaf. Okay. And this structure is known as the bulb. Similarly, tuber is the structure of the potato. The potato, we have seen that it is oval structure, a tube like structure we can say. So these are also these also form in the underground stem, as the underground stem having the eyes. From the eyes the new buds come up, okay, when they get a proper condition, and these are known as the tuber. Similarly, the propagule of the ginger is known as the rhizome. Okay, so these are the names of the units which are coming up from the vegetables, and these are the parts from where they give rise to the new plant. So over here, look at this. First is the potato. The unit of the potato is known as the tuber. Okay, very simple. Tube like structure है, इसीलिए इसको tuber कहते हैं. And they have the vegetative buds which are known as the eyes, from where the buds come out. Okay, this is nothing but the underground stem. If you think about the ginger, you can see the ginger, they are also having the nodes and the axillary buds from where the new buds are coming out, and this structure is known as the rhizome. Okay. Third is the onion. Onion का जो unit है, I have already said that it seems to be the bulb of your home. Have you ever seen the bulb? I guess, right? So इसका structure bulb जैसे है, and they have the root like hair like structure, और ऊपर चले जाते हैं इसका stem. Okay, the continuation of the stem and the leaves of the onion. Yeah, so this is the condensed disc like structure. And the mint, you can see the mint is nothing but the unit is known as the sucker, and non-green underground specialized stem रहता है in case of the mint leaf. Okay, so these are the four main underground stem. I have already mentioned about the units. So let's now move on to the vegetative propagation by the leaf. So this vegetative propagation में क्या होता है? You can see this is a whole leaf, and you can see the different ages of the leaves, right? In the two ages of the leaves, a very small adventitious root, ये छोटा root, छोटा leaves are arising, and these are nothing. When they will mature, they will fall off from the mother leaf, that is the parent leaf, and they will grow as a new individual. So basically this vegetative propagation by leaf, we can see it in the bryophyllum. Okay, so when they fall on the moist soil, and they will grow into a new individual. You can see that this is the parent leaf, and from the margin of the parent leaf, from the edges of the parent leaf, the small leaves are coming out. Yeah, from the marginal notches. Yes. So this is all about the natural vegetative reproduction. Let us now move on to the artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. So artificial vegetative propagation, we can see that commonly it takes place with the help of the human being. तो common जो vegetative reproduction है, that is cutting, layering and grafting. These are the most important one. So one by one let us discuss these things. So cutting is a very simple thing. Have you ever seen that your mama or anybody grandma has gone to somebody else's room, or residence neighbor में neighborhood में जाते हैं, and if they get a very nice plant, they just cut one portion of the stem of that plant and they keep it take it
at home and just put it inside the soil, and after some days what will you see? Under the soil the root will grow and the stem will grow, and definitely it will give rise to a new individual. Cutting is just simply cutting the stem and planting it inside the soil so that another new plant will be growing from here. Okay? Yes, so this is a very simple type of reproduction. You can see it in the rose, china rose, jasmine and all. Let's move on to the layering. Layering में क्या होता है? Just look at the picture. This is a plant and the plant is having many branches. So the lowermost branch will be bent forcefully. It will be bent down inside, and we have to keep it in contact with the soil, and you can put just some heavy weight above it and keep it for 5 to 6 days. So after 5 to 6 days, what you will see that the roots will grow downwards inside the ground and the stem will go upward. Okay, and after like 1 or 2 weeks you just cut down the connection between the two plants. What will you see? The new plant, from just one branch, it will give rise to a new individual, and independently it will grow into a new plant. Okay, so this is nothing but a very simple process of layering. Layering means only you have to take the lowermost branch, you just press it inside the soil so that the plant will come in contact with the soil. It will be able to absorb the water and mineral, and the root will grow and it will grow into a new individual. This is the layering. Coming to the grafting. Grafting is very important, very different type of आर्टिफिशियल वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन. क्यों? क्योंकि इधर दोनों पार्ट रहता है. एक रहता है स्टॉक, another one is the scion. So this one, the lower portion is known as the stalk and the upper portion is known as the scion. So always remember, the lower portion, the stalk, is always rooted. It is having the root, it is coming in contact with the soil. But scion, you have to take it from another plant, but the plant should be of the same species. हम क्यों उसको ले आ रहे हैं? By cutting it with the V-shaped structure, so that it can properly fit up over here in the stalk, and the continuation of the xylem and phloem will be there, so that the water and minerals will be able to move within it. Okay. Hi Shram, how are you? So this is the very simple part, and you just have to cover the cutting part with the help of certain soil and moist things, and then you will be able to understand. Then you will see after 1 or 2 weeks that there will be a continuation of the xylem and phloem, so that the water and minerals will be able to pass through it, move through it. Okay. Okay, Tanisha? Yes, understood. So, this is the grafting. You can see it comes, the rooted plant is the stalk and the uppermost part is the scion. Basically, it is done due to getting a proper good yield of the fruits and flowers, right? Yes? Chalo. Now let's move on to the advantages and the disadvantages of the vegetative propagation. Firstly, it is the asexual type of reproduction. तो एक ही parent होगा and the offspring will totally similar to that of the parent. Yes. Second advantage is that there will be no seed production of the seed, or seed will get the good condition, germination, process of fusion, fertilization, nothing will happen. Okay, and the third is it is very simple, very fast and easiest most process of the reproduction. But now let us move on to the disadvantages. As it is only coming out from one parent, तो parent का अगर कोई भी disease हो तो the same disease will be transferred to the new individual, and again the it may happen that that individual will not be able to give a proper amount of yield of the fruits and the flower, which is basically our main motive to get, right? And then due to the overcrowding, what happened, due to the formation of the spore, they are scattering over just in a small region, तो overcrowded हो जाते हैं, and due to this overcrowding sometimes they compete with each other and cannot grow properly. Okay, so these are the two disadvantages of the vegetative propagation. Quickly now let us see what are the answers of this puzzle.
Okay, so the outgrowth from the parent plant is a, yes, what is the parent plant से outgrowth को हम क्या कहते हैं? We call it as the buds. Yes. Okay, जैसे onion, potato, ginger से buds come out. They generally come out from the potato and ginger. Now let's see, an organism breaks into two or more parts. What do you call that one? Yes, two or more parts, which we have already seen in the Spirogyra. So remember the filamentous Spirogyra में कौन से तरीके का vegetative sorry asexual reproduction होता है? Yes, if you just cut it, each of them will become the fragments, right? Yes, quickly give me the answer. Okay. Now, third one, the unit of the vegetative propagation of potato. Potato का vegetative propagation का unit को हम क्या कहते हैं? The oval structure. Yes, this is known as the tuber. Okay. Next, number 4, the unit of the vegetative propagation of ginger. Ginger का unit को हम क्या कहते हैं? Quickly tell me, Sham, or many of you are listening. I can see you. Yes, these are known as the rhizome, right? And the last one, the sweet potato. They develops from the Sweet potato develops from the roots or the stems. Definitely they develop from the roots, right? So these are the answers. You can get it as the MCQs or the filling the blanks also in case in your school examination. So do practice all these types of question answer. Now let me give you one experiment. You can do it at home. So take a rhizome of the ginger, one bulb of onion and one potato. Okay, tuber of the potato. Now below the soil, just keep it in 3 medium sized pot. Okay, and regularly just provide water to it for 2 months. Okay, now place the pot in under the sunlight where there will be a proper amount of sunlight, air, water will be given, and do not forget to give water to them. What will you see? Yes, after 2 months, what will you see? You will observe that the new things are coming out, like the you can see in the ginger the uh, buds are coming out and the leaves are formed. Onion se bhi leaves will be formed, and also from the potato you can see the from the eyes the different buds, the stem like structures are coming out. Okay, so underground roots and stems of new set of underground roots and stem will come up from them. Okay, so try to do it at home. And let me give you one fact that during 1600 tulips are so valuable in Holland that their bulbs are worth more than that of the gold. Can you imagine? Yes, और ये क्रेज को कहते थे तब ट्यूलिप मैनिया या फिर ट्यूलिपोमैनिया. Okay, and this caused the crash of the Dutch economy. Okay, so that's all about today. We have discussed a lot about the reproduction, vegetative reproduction. We have discussed about what is reproduction, the different types of reproduction in plant. Mainly we focused about on the asexual reproduction, and we have discussed about how vegetative propagation takes place naturally as well as artificially. Natural में we have seen that root, stem और leaf से कैसे होता है. Artificially we have seen cutting से कैसे होता है, लेयरिंग कैसे कैसे होता है, एंड द ग्राफ्टिंग से कैसे होता है, राइट? सो क्विकली रिवाइज दोज things and we will definitely meet in the next session. So thank you very much everyone for staying with me till the end of the session. We will again meet, and do not forget to subscribe our channel. Let me again remind you, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you will get the notification before 30 minutes and you will be able to attend all the sessions. We can chat over here, we can discuss a lot of different topics over here, and please like, comment and share also, and let us meet in the next session then. Yeah, so thank you very much. Stay safe. Bye.